Welcome back to the show. Now, acting on the directive of the Supreme Court, government on Thursday decided to release an extra 2.5 million tons of food grains to the states for distribution amongst the poor. But it will not be for free. Food and Agricultural Minister Sharad Pawar said that the government is releasing an additional quantity of 2.5 million tons of wheat and rice to the states at a BPL price for the next 6 months. The meeting of the EGOM headed by Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee came 2 days after the Supreme Court slammed Pawar for calling the court's August 12th order a suggestion. Now, moving on, countless Kashmiri Pandits fled their homes in the valley in the 90s fearing for their security. Now, as the government attempts to woo some of them back with offers of jobs, many are still wary of stepping out of their safety net.
They had fled their homes back in 1990. Since then, for these Kashmiri Pandits, the Mishriwala migrant camp in Jammu is home. Recently, in an initiative to restore them to their roots, the government offered 3,000 jobs in the valley, their first tangible choice to go home. Both Renu and Sanjay have been selected as teachers in government schools, but the mood of violence there brings back the scars of the past, holding them back.
अगर हालात के हिसाब से सोचेंगे तो वो तो हमारे लिए तो कोई कंफर्टेबल जगह वहाँ पे है नहीं।
ये चाहते हैं कि अगर हमें गवर्नमेंट जॉब दे रही है, एटलीस्ट जब तक वहाँ के हालात ठीक नहीं होते तब तक हमें माइग्रेंट जोन्स में रखें यहाँ पे।
Sanjay Ganju was forced to leave his home in Anantnag in 1990. Now that he has got a job there, unlike Renu and Sanjay, he does not want to let the opportunity pass him by. But his is a rare voice.
हम आज तैयार जाने के लिए, इन हालात में भी तैयार जाने के लिए, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
More than 4 lakh Kashmiri Pandits left the valley after militancy erupted in early 90s. Most of them are living in migrant camps, their livelihood a daily battle. Jobs for Kashmiri Pandits provided a glimmer of hope for their return, but Kashmir unrest has put everything on the hold. For the Kashmiri Pandits living in these migrant camps, safety rather than jobs is still the topmost priority. In Jammu, Zafar Iqbal for NDTV.
Moving on now, the hostage drama at the Discovery Channel headquarters has ended. Police shot a gunman and safely freed the 3 people he had taken hostage in a 4-hour standoff at the Discovery Channel headquarters outside Washington. Police feared for the safety of the hostages after more than 2 hours of negotiations between the gunman and the authorities. The gunman, an Asian male, apparently had explosive devices strapped to his front and back. Coming back to the city of Chennai, a book bank for the students was launched in Chennai today. Students can now leave the books they plan to discard at this facility at Bhavan's Rajaji Vidyashram School. Our reporter Zoya Thomas was at the soft launch. Let's find out more about this.
The Hindu newspaper and Aviva Life Insurance unveiled a book at Bhavan's Rajaji Vidyashram School. The facility accepts books from donors, especially children. The book wall is aimed at giving access to books to children who cannot afford them. And the wall represents the huge task which the Hindu and Aviva have taken up.
Because if you have a wall, like the Great Wall of China, this is not a wall that stops anyone from coming in, but this is a way of, it really symbolizes the huge work that needs to be done, the monumental work that we have missed doing since independence.
When this program is initiated, there's an awareness created among the children and also among all the general public of the right to educate the child, to free him from the shackles of poverty.
Students can leave their books in drop boxes placed at over 200 schools. A government school official said schools will be informed and students will be encouraged to contribute to the book wall.
I will send circular to all the matriculation schools in Chennai city regarding this program. I will also conduct the principals meeting.
Book wall triggered interest and enthusiasm among students and the faculty.
I'm very happy that the Hindu is doing this at this juncture.
It's basically impossible to go individually to donate our own books to these people. And when somebody takes up this initiative to do this, it's nice, it's very nice.
A special drive to collect books from donors will start on September 5th, when the book facility will be officially launched at the Express Avenue Wall. In Chennai with Zoya and Ramanathan, this is Sai Manish for NDTV Hindu.
Now, moving on to the controversial match-fixing issue, the 3 Pakistani cricketers at the centre of a betting scandal have now been dropped from the squad after the remainder for the Tour of England. The trio of Salman Butt, Mohammad Amir and Mohammad Asif have been dropped. They were originally scheduled to play the 220 games. Team manager Yawar Saeed, however, affirmed that they have only been dropped and that they are not suspended. He also said that the 3 other players will now replace them for the remainder of the series. Now, if the charges of the match fixing weren't enough, Pakistani pacer Mohammad Amir has received another body blow. National team's kit supplier Boom Boom, who were also Amir's sponsors, have suspended their relationship with the young Pakistani pacer. In fact, they are also contemplating pulling out as the sponsors of the Pakistani team. Now, in staying with that issue, David Warner has become the 5th Australian player to claim that he was approached by a match fixer. What is interesting, though, is that this did not happen during an international series, but during the Champions League T20 tournament in India last year. Warner was playing for an Australian domestic side, New South Wales, in that tournament and informed the team manager immediately after the incident. Now talking about the brighter side of sports in a chat with our sports reporter Natasha. The all-time great Aussie pace bowler Dennis Lillee at the MRF Pace Foundation spilled the beans and chose Sachin over the fellow Australian great Ricky Ponting. It doesn't end just there. He even disagrees with Wasim Akram's strong comments about our Indian bowlers being softies. And lastly, his views on the match-fixing allegations that seems to be marring the face of cricket at large.
But in the present-day situation, right now, Ricky Ponting or Sachin Tendulkar, they're 2 greats, no doubt. But today, 2010, who would be your pick?
See, Ponting's really struggling a little at the moment, seems to be. But Sachin still seems to be going okay. You know, on their day, they're both just amazing players. At the moment, I'd probably have to say Sachin in 2010 is probably a neck in front. I mean, Sachin is just one of the best players I've ever seen, no doubt. I first saw him when he was 14 at the Pace Foundation. You know, he just, at 14, 15, he was smashing bowlers out of the park. You know, there was something special there. And, you know, that's continued on. So, you know, probably go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time.
It's not just Pakistan cricket, it's not just Mohammad Amir, you know, who's a great bowler. He shows humongous potential. But it's everybody else as well who's sort of being dragged into this entire controversy. So what would you have to say about that?
It just has to be cleaned up, and it's got to be done. It just has to be done completely and properly. You just cannot have that cloud. So just clean up is probably the best. Be hard on them and just clean it up. I suppose that's the hard thing. You know, they're suspected and there's some evidence, but no one's actually said. So I don't know what the answer is. You know, I suppose you probably should play until it's sorted out, till someone's really come up with concrete evidence and they're you know, all of them are named.
Now, would you agree with Wasim Akram saying that our bowlers are softies, especially since many people have been saying, you know, that they're not as hardworking as the last generation? What would you have to say about that?
Certainly the guys, if you have a look at our guys here and check their fitness and strength, you'll find that it's second to none. It's as good as anywhere in the world. So I would argue against that, if he has in fact said that. I would argue against it, particularly with the guys we have. I've no doubt these guys are as fit as any and strong as any young lads in world cricket.
Coming back to local sports now, Tamil Nadu Circle is organising the 10th edition of the All India BSNL Volleyball Tournament. The tournament, which will be held from 3rd to the 7th of September 2010 at the Mayor Dr. Radhakrishnan Stadium, is seeing participation from 17 Circle teams from across the country. The leading Indian telecom company, which recruited 523 players under the sports quota in the last 3 years, is planning to increase the number in this financial year. At the time when other corporate firms have stopped recruiting people under the sports quota, this step can be a great boost for the sports persons across the country.
Basically, we also, as a corporate house, we also want to encourage the sports activities, and we want to recruit the youngsters available in that circle, so that we recruit to the extent possible a promising young player and groom him as an employee of our organization. And if he happens to become a national player, it is a pride for the BSNL. It's not happening in a very huge numbers. At least we want to give a sports action, a life in the organization.
Let's take a quick look at the tech world. Apple on Wednesday revamped its entire iPod lineup, and Upgrade Chief Executive Steve Jobs calls the biggest change in the iPod lineup ever. Most notably, Apple added a front-facing camera and FaceTime to the iPod Touch. It also added a rear-facing camera with HD video recording, the Retina display, the Apple A4 chip, and 3-axis gyro for better gaming. The iPod Touch also includes iOS 4.1 with Game Center and 40 hours of music playback. Now, the launch of a film's music, widely known as the audio launch, is where most filmmakers try to get the first publicity for the film. Today, the film with this unusual name, Va Quarter Cutting, unveiled its music tracks amidst a lineup of stars.
Actors Surya and Arya were among the stars who turned up at the Satyam complex where the music of Va Quarter Cutting was launched. Curiosity about the film's title was the talk of the crowd.
Va Quarter Cutting டைட்டிலே ரொம்ப வித்தியாசமாக இருக்குது. குவார்ட்டர் கட்டிங் புரியுது, அந்த வா அப்படின்னா வந்து அது என்ன அப்படிங்கிறது தெரியல.
The film's directors Pushkar and Gayatri say the movie is not about love and it is not about drinks too, but centered on nightlife in and around Chennai. So what is Va in the film's title?
தமிழ்ல வந்து நம்ம நம்பர்ஸ் எழுதும்போது கானா 1 அந்த மாதிரி வேற வேற லெட்டர்ஸ் வச்சு நம்ம நம்பர்ஸை ரெப்ரசன்ட் பண்றோம். So, Va வந்து 1/4. Vaவோட அர்த்தம் 1/4. 1/4 equal to quarter. So, Va na quarter.
Tamil Padam fame RJ Shiva in the lead role is a die-hard fan of actor Vijay. SPB Charan and Lekha Washington are also there. The film is interspersed with comedy.
We have a strong message in this movie, and the message is if you wait in life, if you wait for 10 rupees, you'll get 10 lakhs. That's a message. And also, இது தமிழில் தான் சொல்லி ஆகணும், ஒவ்வொரு குடிமகன்களும் பார்க்க வேண்டிய ஒரு படம் இது. I wrote lyrics for one song, and lyrics பாட்டு கேட்டவங்களாம் இது வரைக்கும் லைட்டாக தூங்குனவங்க இன்னும் எழுந்துக்கவே இல்லை.
The songs are like modern feel, a new age. I've tried something new like what they did in DFD and LSD. I've tried out a new sound.
The film is expected to release in September. In Chennai with Lalit Jude, Pratiksha, NDTV Hindu.
Now, staying with the glamour world, and actor Amir Khan gears up for his next big venture with Yash Raj Films. After a talk that Amir would be working on soon on a project with the filmmaking juggernaut, Amir finally confirms the rumors.
Talk about you probably doing Dhoom 3, going on to the Yash Raj banner, probably working with Karan Johar. There's so much. So you want to clear the air?
No, I mean, the thing is that there have been a lot of offers to me, and I don't like speaking about the offers that come my way, because I think that's professional courtesy on my part to keep things to myself.
Right. Yes, you heard it here first. It looks like it's going to be a case of Amir Khan and the kingdom of Dhoom. Amir Khan seems to be the latest looking to leap aboard the Yash Raj bandwagon. Or is that vice versa? Either way, while the speculation continues that Amir will be stepping into John Abraham and Hrithik Roshan's shoes as the villain in Dhoom 3, with or without the confirmation, most film fans are just happy that these two powerhouses are finally coming together after a Cold War that spanned several years.
Feeling is entirely mutual.
The Mutual Admiration Society has been developing over the last couple of months, with Amir making it a point to include the Yash Raj camp in any of his social gatherings. It's clear that his Mr. Congeniality act has no doubt paid off, all with a little help from a certain friend.
It's fantastic.
But it's not just the Chopras that Amir is keen to work with.
Well, I think that Danny is someone who I have high regard for, and he's exceptionally talented person and a wonderful person, and so is Anurag. I think that he's very talented and a wonderful person, and I'd be happy to work with them, really.
With the best of Bollywood and Hollywood knocking at Amir's door, Amir certainly is creating quite a dhoom all of his own. With Divya Oni in Mumbai, Beverly White for NDTV.
Now, it's going to be a Friday release of a different kind for the superstar in Chennai. Ahead of his next big film, Robot or Endiran, comes Rajnikant's grand family affair. Saundarya Rajnikant will become Saundarya Rajnikant Ashwin tomorrow. Our executive editor Sanjay Pinto gives us a preview of the wedding of the year.
It's perhaps bigger than a first day, first show of a Rajinikanth film. This is the set of a Rajinikanth family production. Here, Sultan the Warrior is the doting father. And for a change, casting her director's hat aside to play the lead role is the superstar's second daughter, Saundarya. Introducing the lucky groom, Ashwin Ramkumar. Unlike her elder sister Aishwarya, who married actor Dhanush, Saundarya's Prince Charming is not from the film industry. The 27-year-old groom is a Stanford graduate and in the construction business. Saundarya is the CEO of Ocker Productions. Her debut venture, Sultan the Warrior, starring the superstar himself in the animation film, is set for a release this year. Almost every celebrity in town attended the engagement a few months ago. And at the recent Mehendi ceremony, Rajinikanth is said to have joined in to sing popular Tamil songs. This pre-monsoon wedding of the superstar's daughter dear is expected to be a blockbuster of sorts in more ways than one. The who's who, not just of the film world, but also of the political spectrum, is expected to be here. And this place could be completely chock-a-block. Traffic will come to a virtual standstill and getting even a toehold here will be next to impossible. In Chennai, Sanjay Pinto, NDTV.
Now, as the wedding bells ring for the superstar Rajinikanth's daughter Saundarya, we at NETV Hindu want you, the viewers, to join in the celebrations. You can send in your wishes for superstar's daughter dear on the biggest day of her life. The viewer who makes the best wish will win a special prize which will be announced at 8:30 p.m. on Friday on NDTV Hindu. So put on your thinking caps and start sending in those messages. And that's all we have time for today. Stay tuned to NDTV Hindu for more news and updates. Thank you for watching.